April in my bullet journal is full of dreamy clouds, soft pinks and blues, and a hint of witchiness. Hi, I'm Hannah, and I support trans rights. With everything that's going on right now, I want to make it very clear that this is a safe space for authenticity and love. I work at my local library, and so I have seen firsthand how important it is for people to just have acceptance. Being your most authentic version of yourself does not threaten anybody. I know that the world would be a better place if everyone felt safe to express themselves fully, but I also know that that's not true, and so it's wonderful to have our private journals to fully be ourselves in. So I chose the trans flag colors of pink, blue, and white for this month's primary colors, and I really love how it influenced my theme. The last row of my calendar spread is too short because I miscounted my dot grids, but I just decided it's predestined that the last week of April isn't going to have a whole lot going on in it. The primary sticker sheet is going to be coming from the Sticky Pop Advent Calendar from 2024, and I love these so much. My wonderful partner got for me all three of the Advent calendars, and I'm using them as little like serotonin boosts. I haven't opened all of them yet. When I need a little bit of secret surprise, I open up a new sticker sheet and see what I get. Here's a little tour of the advent calendar. I love that they use this A6 size binder. It's very cute and reusable, which I think is great. And all of these envelopes have these strong, femme, wonderful people on them. And that comes with a sticker sheet that includes all of those images, which I think is great. Here are some other options of sticker sheets and washi tapes that I may or may not end up using, but it's nice to have them around for the vibes. I like to look at all of my options. I'm a very indecisive person. And so I try really hard to not spend too much time taking things up and sticking them back down. But I always end up doing that. And I'm learning how to accept that as part of the fun for me, is being able to change my mind. That's one thing I really like about my bullet journals, is that they're robust enough pages that I can move things around a bunch and it really doesn't impact the quality of the page. And I'm immediately going to show you an example of that. I'm going to stick down some stickers just to feel decisive and then promptly decide that other elements needed to go behind those stickers to look how I wanted them to look. It's actually very helpful for me to do it this way, to be able to see where I'm going to put these main elements and have the chance to move them around, put things behind them, and make it look how I want it to. I really love these little sandwiches and sweets, and the colors that they have in them are just so soft and lovely, and they're very enticing. And I love the idea of them floating in the sky as little like treats from heaven. I decided that little soda can didn't fit the space well, and so I moved things around into places that they fit better so I can add little doodads and gizmos around all of my stickers. I tried to use a rule of threes here, so one larger sticker, one medium sticker, and then these tiny little stickers as little accents around it. I think that worked so well, but it was hard to decide where to put things. But the process itself was a lot of fun, so that's okay. I did a highlight here with a Tombow pen, and I am going to change this later, even though I love this blue. It works so beautifully with that little blue can sticker. But after I added the April heading, I felt like it needed something a little bit more. My eye felt like it was missing something. This is much later in the day, and I decided that we needed one more element here. We needed a washi tape underneath all of those stickers, which does mean that I have to peel up all of those stickers to put this down, but I knew it would create the cohesiveness I'm craving. So we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to do that. Enjoy. I was trying really hard to preserve the blue in this spread, but it just wasn't quite working for me, so we're going to cover it with a metallic pink. This is a metallic paint pen from Arrtx, and they work so well. I really do enjoy them. And I love that little sheen on there. It was really what this spread needed. So now that we've done that, I haven't added in the numbers yet, but I'll do that later. We'll move on to the next spread. I'm going to use that same paint marker to mark out the headings for my habit trackers. And the metallicness is going to make my camera go a little bit haywire. Some of the elements that I use, my camera doesn't know how to focus on, and I don't know how to fix it. The lighting in my videos is just going to be less than perfect because I film around my day job. So sometimes I film at night, sometimes I film on my weekends when there's daylight, and it's just going to be various. For my habit tracker, I meant to leave an extra space between the bottom of the calendar and that pink line, but I messed it up, so I just thickened all of them and it looks just fine, like I did it on purpose. I'm penning out all of the lines on my spending tracker and then having panicked little hands because I couldn't find my white paint marker, but I found it, so I can fix up this line right here. After adding in my headings for my spending tracker, I'm going to prove that I do have the ability to learn, so I'm going to put down this washi tape first. The space underneath my spending tracker isn't quite big enough for a full-size washi tape, so ripping it in half works perfectly. While I do that, I would like to tell you about a teen who regularly comes into my library. Privacy is very important in library work, so I will remove or change any identifying details. So when this teen first started coming into the library, they were a kid, and I was introduced to them as a different name than they use now. But over the years, I could see that there were some changes in their ways of presenting themselves, and then eventually they started signing the artwork that they would make in the library as a different name. So I asked them if they would prefer me to use that name, and they said yes. And I asked them their pronouns, and then they told me. And then I was able to let them know that on their library account, we could change their name to whatever name they preferred. At that time, it was a brand new feature in our library software to have a place for preferred name and a place for name on ID so we can accurately identify people and honor who they choose to be. It means so much to me to have been able to, I'm going to cry, watch this human being grow into who they are and then be able to officially recognize who they have chosen to be. They're the sweetest kid in the universe, and they're also hilarious. When they spelled out their name for me, they said, with a K, because I'm fancy. It's like, yes, yes, you are. So it's been heartbreaking to have funding removed from trans services and from library services. My library is facing some current budget concerns, and we don't know what's going to happen. And it's really, really scary, not just for me and my job, but for all the people that we serve. Speaking of garbage, let me show you what I put my garbage in as I work on things. This little half moon. Journaling does produce kind of a lot of trash, and I try really hard to limit how much trash I create by reusing things as much as I can. So, like this little piece of paper that has a random spot cut out of it. I don't know when I did that. After writing spending, I was a little bit more warmed up, so I tried writing habits again, and I do think it looks a little bit better. Sometimes you just need to warm up your lettering hands. And now I'm going to cut these out. Now I'm going to stick down my headings with my handy dandy glue tape. I knew that I wanted an every other line highlight, so I practiced on a piece of scrap paper to make sure I liked the colors together. I did try a darker pink, but the lighter pink was exactly what I needed. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do for this little space here, so I'm not going to make a heading for it. I'm just going to do the highlight. And then I'm going to add these little stickers around and fill in the rest of the spaces. So the teen I was telling you about has always been an artist, has always drawn things for us and gifted them to us, like dragons and Percy Jackson characters and manga characters, but recently they drew a picture of me. It's in a manga style and it's very adorable, and I keep it at my desk to help remind me why I do what I do. Moving on to the last page, we're moving to the reflections page, and I'm just mapping out what I want to do. I had an idea, and I wanted to make sure it was going to work before I did it. I really liked how those two washi tapes looked layered on top of each other, and so I'm going to do that. But first I'm going to retrieve the actual washi tape from my garbage pile and instead throw away the backing like I meant to in the first place. The double rainbow of these two washi tapes together is very satisfying, but we need a little bit of pink. Spring has sprung, and so has my allergies, so that's why this video is a little bit later than I wanted it to be, but that's totally okay. This is a self-assigned piece of homework, so if I can't get it done, there aren't actually any consequences, and that's fantastic. Instead of using the entirety of that rainbow moon tape, I decided to use a different tape over here that had the similar kinds of vibes, but I just had more of. For some reason, it made me sad to use up the rest of that. I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing out by not using something other than these cloud stickers, but these cloud stickers are the way. But I'm going to take it off for a moment so that I can do a line highlight with these things. I'm going to do a similar but opposite line highlight from my last month's reflection page, which I clearly haven't filled out yet. And I need to use my big brain, so I need to use a ruler to find the center point on these dot grid journals. They are 5 millimeters big, and so you can actually use measurements to find your way around with using dot grids, and that has been a revelation to me. I just realized that I used the wrong pink, but we're just going to make the blue a little bit darker, and it's going to look like it's on purpose. I really liked the lighter pink better, but we can't do anything about it now other than add some stickers to it. This process felt as chaotic as it looks, but it was also kind of a joy. A little feral, slightly unhinged, but in the softest and most gentle way. But through the magic of editing, I'm going to save you some of the minutia of me placing things down, because a lot of it looked like this, where I moved things around a lot and then decided not to use them. So we're going to move on to adding these little pieces from the sticker sheet, and they add so much to the vibe. They're so cute, but also creepy and witchy, and bones and knives and a really anxious thundercloud. It's just a perfect addition to this spread. It has all of these various pieces that work together so well, even though they're very different, like an extremely cute frog and a knife covered in a little bit of blood. So I added a few more pieces, and then I decided to call it done. Here are my finished spreads for April. I love these dreamy colors and witchy details, and I'm super happy I was able to finish these before the actual month began, so I've been able to use them, which is exciting. Hopefully I'll be able to get the next video out earlier in the month, but either way, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you can give some support to people around you right now, and have a nice rest of your day. Bye.